kiddos, and welcome back. Today we're going to be learning about area and how to find it. Area is the amount of space that a shape or object takes up. When we started learning about perimeter, we found out that that was the measurement around a shape. Area is the measurement of inside the shape, and we measure area in square units. Square units are all the little tiny squares inside the bigger shape. When you can see the little squares inside the shape, area is super simple to calculate, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now using these three shapes. So we're going to start with this green shape, and like I said, we're going to count up all of the square units inside the shape. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this shape is 12 square units. And another way to write that is 12 units squared. Now for these shapes, because we're not 100% sure the length of each of these little squares, we're going to use units. If the shape had have told us that this was 4 centimeters, so this length of this side was 4 centimeters, then we would have known that each one of these little squares was a centimeter, and we could have said that this was 12 centimeters squared. Now it's really important that we say that it's squared, because if not, if we just wrote 12 centimeters, that would just be a 12 centimeter long line. The squared part tells us that the shape that we found the area for is in fact a square, or a shape that isn't just a straight line. A square, a rectangle, sometimes they can be stranger shapes that aren't perfectly squared or rectangles, but adding that squared unit there tells us that it is not just a straight line. So that's really, really important. Let's do another one. I am going to get you to calculate this one, so I'm going to give you a few seconds. Get a little closer so you can see. Okay, so now let's do it together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this one is 20 square units, or the faster way to write it, 20 units squared. Now sometimes shapes can be so big that you don't want to spend all of that time counting all these little boxes. And you may have noticed that our shapes here look very similar to arrays when we were working with multiplication. The only difference being that each thing in the array is all squished together so that they're perfectly touching. But we can calculate area using what we know about arrays. So for example, with this big shape, I'm going to count the amount of columns and the amount of rows. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 columns, and remember, you got to count this square twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows. So now we just need to use what we know about arrays. We times the amount of columns by the amount of rows. So we have 8 times 11. We know that 8 times 11 equals 88, which means that the area of this shape is 88 units squared. So when your shapes get really big, you can use our array model instead of counting. And you could do it for these ones too. We know that this is 4 times 3, which we know is 12. And this one here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when we know that 4 times 5 is 20. So it's a faster way to calculate the area if you don't feel like counting, and it's going to be really, really helpful for what we do next. Calculating area when you can see the squared units inside the shape is pretty simple. It's just about counting the squares inside that you can see or using your array model to multiply the columns by the rows. Now sometimes you can't see those little squares inside a big shape, like this. So in this example, we can't see our units squared inside the shape. That doesn't mean they're not there. If I was going to draw out the 2 columns and the 5 rows, we would be able to see them. But in this shape, they're not there. So this is when we need to use our array method. We're going to times the top by the side. So we can see that this shape says that it's 2 centimeters long this way and 5 centimeters long this way. So we're going to use those 2 numbers and multiply them together to find our squared units that would be inside. So essentially, we're using multiplication to draw those imaginary lines to make all the little boxes. So 2 times 5, we know equals 10. But because we're doing area and because we know that we're using centimeters, our answer is going to be 10 centimeters squared. So if I were to draw those boxes in, just to double check my answer, we know we've got 2 columns and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 centimeters squared is our area. Let's do one more. Okay, so this time I'm going to get you to pause the video and give this a try yourself. We've got a shape here. We can't see the squared units inside, and in this case, the squared centimeters, but we do have our side lengths. So we've got 4 centimeters this way and 4 centimeters that way. So using our array model, it's as if we have 4 columns and 4 rows. So you pause the video, give this a try, and when you're all done, hit play and we'll see if we got the same answer. Okay, so I'm first going to use multiplication. I'm going to times this number by this number, so my rows by my columns, which in this case is 4 times 4. We know that 4 times 4 is 16, and because I'm using area and centimeters, I know that my answer is 16 centimeters square. Now, I'm going to fill in my rows and columns just to double check, and you don't have to always do this to double check, but if you're not sure, it's not a bad idea. So, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, and 4 columns, and now 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now if I count up those square centimeters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 square centimeters. So attached below is a slideshow presentation that has some questions, some like this, where you can count the squared units inside, and some like this, where they're not there and you need to use multiplication to solve it. So you're going to give those a try. Don't forget to use either the centimeters or units square, very important, and good luck and have fun. We'll see you next time. Bye.